This is my unpublished first novel, which received more than 101 rejections from agents before I got my first book deal. It was a coming-of-age story set in the 1980s, a time of fingerless gloves and some very cheesy pop music. And it told the story of Claire and her friend Frankie and the summers they spent dreaming of the idols on their bedroom wall. When I needed to come up with an idea for my third novel, I was living here in Tomberton in West Yorkshire, and this manuscript was still with me and still in my bottom drawer. And I had the idea of actually going back to Claire and seeing how her life had panned out 20 years on, and imagining how she would perhaps be comparing those hopes and dreams she'd had as a 15-year-old with the very real life she now had as a 35-year-old woman. So I took Claire's story and developed it into my third novel, Things I Wish I'd Known, which tells the story of Claire as a 35-year-old woman discovering the dream list that she'd written as a 15-year-old as to how she thought her life would be in 20 years' time. For Claire, it's a rather crushing disappointment to compare it to her real life. She's divorced, she's stuck in a dead-end job, she's dating a man who she doesn't feel is the one. And Claire ends up feeling very nostalgic for those days, which we hear about in flashbacks during the novel, and actually decides to track down her idol, Andy Powers. Unfortunately, as we discover, the truth about what happened between Claire and her idol, Andy, isn't nearly as idealistic as she would have had us believe. And it turns out that trying to rake up your past can bring back all sorts of problems.